everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So ever since I got my hair cut, you guys have been wanting to see an updated hair routine as well as a tutorial on how I get this look and keep my hair healthy in the process. So that's what I'm going to give you today. This video is in partnership with Aquas, the original hair turban people, and that is a key component in how my hair stays healthy. So if you want to see how I style my hair like this quickly and easily and keep it healthy in the process, just keep watching. First things first, if you're someone who is anti-heat styling, I'm just going to tell you, you may want to click out of this video because there is some heat styling going on in this video. I also want to ask you guys, I know you've been asking for a few different types of hair tutorials. This is the one that most people ask for, so I wanted to do this one first. I have one planned in December as well. I think I know what you guys want, but I want to make sure, so leave that down in the comments below. I've been doing my hair straight a lot lately. I could do that, or I could do kind of a beachy look or something else completely. So leave that down below. I want to do a tutorial on what you guys want me to do. So this is what they call a lob haircut or a long bob. It's actually a little bit longer than usual because I'm due for a haircut. I'm at the tail end of needing a haircut. It's flattering, it's versatile, it's easy to style, and I'm going to give you this look today. Now, I've covered most of the products that I've been loving lately in another video. I'm going to link that down below along with the products in this video. There's two products in this video. I know there's two, there may be some more that are not in that video, and they will be in this one. The first is the Aquas hair towel or turban that I mentioned at the beginning. So this is just about this big. If you don't rub, you put this on after you shower, just like a turban, and it buttons at the back. This has really helped with decreasing water damage, decreasing heat damage that can be done to my hair because it helps my hair dry in about half the time as it normally does. So I'm having to use the hair dryer for less amount of time. I think that including a specific hair towel in my routine has really helped with the overall health of my hair. Anytime that you can reduce heat damage, your hair is going to end up healthier. Before I get into the routine walkthrough, I'm going to just tell you really quickly what I put in my wet hair before I dried it. The first thing is the It's a 10 Miracle Blow Dry Volumizer. I just spray this at the root and kind of, wiggle it around the root with my fingers. I use a couple of different volumizers. That's just the one I use today. The other ones are in the video link down below. Then I put in a repair cream. The one that I use today specifically is the Briogeo Blow Dry Perfection and Heat Protectant Cream. I love this product. I rotate a few, but this is one that I keep going back to. This is my second bottle of this, and that just protects my hair from heat, which is a theme in this video. Then I put in about a nickel size amount of the Bumble and Bumble Don't Blow It Fine Hair Styler because my hair is fine, and this is a great product for fine hair that helps give it a little bit of style, but it doesn't feel like I have anything in my hair. It doesn't weigh it down. I just really like it. And then this is optional. I don't always put this in my hair, but I don't know, I've been kind of liking it lately, and it's just the Moroccan oil, the regular. I had used the light and I ran out of it, so I moved on to the regular one. This is the teeniest, tiniest little bottle I got from a Sephora sampler set. I used the smallest amount. I mean, when I tell you it's probably not even the size of a pea, it's so small because my hair is fine and I don't want it to be weighed down, so I'll just take it kind of from about here down. I'll rub it in my fingers and just kind of do that while my hair is wet. I feel like that gives my hair a little bit more shine than it had before, and it also helps keep the hair healthy. So the first thing I do, obviously, is take my hair out of the towel. It looks wild and crazy, and this is where I kind of do things a little bit wacky. I'm not one of those people that's gonna look all pretty and fresh while I'm styling my hair. I just don't. The first thing that I do is grab a front section of my hair, just a small front section that would normally be bangs, but because they've grown out, they're not really bangs anymore, and I curl them forward with a round brush. And the reason why I do this is because it gives that kind of swoopy part that I like. If I curl it over, it ends up swooping this way, and I just don't really like it. So I do that under curl first before I flip my head over and continue just to loosely dry the rest of my hair, which is quick. I think we all know how that's done. You flip your hair over and you just take the dryer and go all crazy like that. So that upside down process was just getting the rest of the dampness most of the way out. When I flip it over upright, that's when I want to take my wet brush and just kind of get at the root more. Now, if you have straight hair, you might not have to do all this. I have little kinks in my hair and uneven wave. So that's why I do this part. You might not even have to pay attention to any of this drying part, but I wanted to show you because I think a lot of us have some natural kinks in our hair, and I think that some of this could help you. So I just take the wet brush because it does glide through wet hair so easily. I feel like it does less damage to my hair than taking a regular paddle brush, and I'm not drying for a long time. A, because I use the hair towel, and B, because this is kind of a messy style. I don't need to start with perfectly straight hair, but I do want to kind of get a little bit of a lift at the root. So that's what I'm doing with that brush. It's just kind of lifting it a little bit. I usually hit it with that round brush again, this front part, just to make sure it's swooping the way I want it. Like even right now, I feel like it's not quite as, you know, swooped down like I like it here. That just happens with weather and circumstances and things like that. Everything can't be perfect all the time. It is messy, it's tousled, it's not perfect, ringlet curls or anything like that. You can take your fingers through it. It feels good, and that's what I like about it. Something that I do that I think could help anybody really, I take the hair at the back of my head and, well, I flip the top part over to get it out of the way. And to get some lift at the crown, I take my flat iron, I'm not dealing with a part or anything, and I just clamp it and move it down or up, I guess, since we're going in an upward direction, from my scalp for about maybe 2 or 3 inches, just to give some lift. So it's kind of like you're, I don't know, teasing it with the flat iron, even though you're not, you know, teasing it, but it's just using that motion to get some lift. That's just something that I do. I found it helps me. I don't like to have, you know, just a huge straight part all the way back, because I find if I don't have a little bit of lift back there, my hair looks really flat. I've talked about my love for T3 products before, so you noticed that my straightener was a T3. So is my curling iron. This is actually the base of the T3 Whirl Trio, and I have the attachment. It's either the 1 1/4 inch or 1 1/2 inch barrel instead of the wand. I use the wand sometimes, but I find the clamp is a little bit quicker because I like to kind of take it down the ends, and I'm getting ahead of myself. So usually I will take, you know, loosely just half up and clip it up in a clip to get it out of the way so I can do the underlayer. I'm not very precise with the underlayer because I like my curls to be less uniform. There's a couple of things that come into play here. They're easy once you know them. It's not a complicated process at all, but they are some things to note. Number one, I hold the barrel of the curling iron vertically, not horizontally. That makes a huge difference. And when I wrap my curl, I make sure that the hair is not wrapped on top of each other, that it's spirals around the iron. I work from the front to the back on one side and the front to the back on the other on the bottom, and then I do the same thing on the top roughly. I'll get to that in a minute. I take different sizes as well. So starting with the front, I glide the barrel down the first piece of hair and then wrap it up. Usually twice is what I do. I don't usually like to do it much more than twice. Unless I'm doing a totally different look, I just really like about 2, 2.5 wraps around the barrel, and I make sure to leave about 1 inch or 1.5 inches out of the bottom. That's what gives the undone look. So when I'm taking it out, I lightly release the grip, just lightly, and slide it out vertically. And as I'm leaving the curl and I get to that straight part, I kind of softly clamp it down a little bit so that it smooths that piece. I don't do that all the time, but sometimes I like to do that. I've had comments from people before just in my real life that they're confused about how to curl their hair front to back to front, that kind of thing. For this look, I did it all front to back, where the curls are facing backwards on each side. So that means the clamp is on the front and the barrel's on the back, and you rotate your wrist to the back of the room when you curl your hair. So I did that on each side. Sometimes I'll vary it up and I'll do every other curl forward and backwards and that kind of thing. Always the front is curled back, but most of the time, to make it easy, I just curl it back on each side because I don't have to think. So I continue the wrapping and the sliding and the curling on one side, I do it on the other, and then I release the clip to do it on the side where I have less hair. So this side obviously has more hair because my part is on this side. So I usually do this side first and go back about as far as I can get until I feel like I'm gonna have to switch to the side with the barrel. Now, one thing with the front is that on the front top curls, I will slope the barrel at, you know, roughly a 45-degree angle. I feel like that gives more of a swoop in the front as opposed to just a curl. That's just something I personally like to do. You can play with that and figure out what you like to do. On the side with more hair, I do clip some of it up because I feel like it gets in the way and I know I'm gonna want those curls separated. So I'll clip that up and then repeat the process from the front to the back. I find front to the back easier. Some people might want to go back to front. This is just what I do. Then I'll release and curl the top section. I do pay attention to these pieces that are right back here, and I try to make sure that instead of curling them this way, that I curl them towards the back, because that's where they're gonna fall in the end, is towards the back. So now my hair is curled, it's in a bunch of ringlets. I don't touch it until they're all completely cool. So if that means, you know, I need to drink some coffee, drink some LaCroix, whatever, that's what I do. Some people brush their curls, I don't. Usually, I think sometimes that makes them look a little frizzy. So I just take my fingers and I just kind of zhuzh them through the hair just to finger comb through them to kind of loosen up the curls a little bit. Now, I vary my styling products a lot. I'm just going to show you what I use today, and I do use these two products very, very frequently. And the first that I reached for is the Verb C Texture Cream. I really love this, and this is one that I neglected to mention in my hair favorites video, but it needed to be in there. I did discover this, I think this summer. I like this because it feels like I have nothing in my hair, doesn't take much product, but it gives me a little bit of volume and texture, and it does really feel like I have nothing in my hair. Sometimes that's not enough for me though, but I still like what it did to separate and give me some texture. So I do go in with my IGK Beach Club. I use this stuff a lot. I really, really like Beach Club. And then I'll spray it at my root, throughout the hair, just lightly, just to give it some texture. The thing with this kind of hairstyle is that you want it to have a little bit of texture, but you don't want it to feel, you know, gunky, because then it'll get weighed down really easily. So these products are really good for that. If I feel like any parts of my hair are a little bit frizzy looking, because sometimes that does happen. I live in Louisiana. It's frizzy hair weather here the majority of the time. I'll take either the Bumble and Bumble Hair Dryer's Invisible Oil, either the spray or the oil, and I'll put that in my hair just to finish it off, or again with the Moroccan oil. That usually just takes any frizz away that I have at all. Then I spray with a flexible hold hairspray. I have Sebastian Shaper Plus with me right now, so that's what I use. Doesn't take much. I just like to get rid of a lot of the flyaways and just try and keep something in place if it's windy outside or if I'm filming and I start moving around a lot like today. But again, this style is one that I think can get messed up and not look bad, you know, like this wasn't doing this at the beginning of the video, but it is now. And it doesn't bother me. It's just kind of how this type of hairstyle is. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask them down below. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have if something wasn't clear. In the next video, I will be talking about my hair color as well, and do let me know what you want to see in that next hair tutorial video, because I definitely want to do the type of tutorial that you guys want to see. If you haven't seen my hair favorites, I have them linked down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.